Dear devotees, please accept my obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you all for your hard work so much. I know that I'm asking quite a bit and with your busy schedules, and I'm so grateful, extremely grateful from the bottom of my heart for what you've done to contribute so far. As I mentioned in the last Facebook message, we're about halfway through with this particular strategic plan. And we're looking forward to, at the end, when we have our presentation, to share this with Jivananda Prabhu, Gurudev, Mother Sandamani, maybe Shrestha Prabhu, other senior devotees, and get their feedback. And this is a huge step for our mission here, and I feel it's bringing us together towards furthering Srila Prabhupada's mission here in Tucson in the Southwest. So this week is going to be easier, and part of that is this video. So what I'm going to do and request of you is simply to watch this presentation maybe 1 or 2 times and take notes. Just take some notes, because we're going to have a brainstorming session on Thursday, and if we're able to get the content we need in that one session this upcoming Thursday, then there'll be no need to do any work at home. I can put that together. So we're going to be analyzing our strengths and our weaknesses in the organization. So I'm going to go over different aspects of this briefly here. And please just take the time to take notes and to come ready to share, because analyzing where we are is extremely important, and what our strengths are, what our weaknesses, how we can improve. So I'm going to pull this document up, and we can go step by step through this, these different aspects. As you see here, the building blocks and the strengths, what are we doing well already, and the weaknesses, what could you do, where are improvements needed. So we see the foundation here, which is our mission and vision statements. So looking at overall, just the overall foundation of what are our strengths currently in fulfilling our mission. Remember, our mission was based on serving Prabhupada's 7 purposes. And then the weaknesses here are going to be, what are we not doing so well in serving Prabhupada's purposes. So let's pull up those purposes real quick. So, to systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to society at large, to educate all people in the techniques of spiritual life, in order to check the imbalance of values in life, and to achieve real unity and peace in the world. Then to propagate a consciousness of Krishna God, as it is revealed in the great scriptures of India, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Then to bring the members of the society together with each other and nearer to Krishna, and to teach and encourage the Sankirtan movement, congregational chanting of the holy name of God, to erect for the members and for society at large a holy place of transcendental pastimes dedicated to the personality of Krishna, and to bring the members closer together for the purpose of teaching a simpler, more natural way of life, and then distributing books, periodicals, magazines, and other writings to achieve these goals, these purposes. So just overall, what are we doing? What is our strengths? What are we doing well right now overall in the mission, and what are our weaknesses overall? So we're gonna speak on that first and brainstorm on that, and then we're going to look at the culture, our cultural strengths and our cultural weaknesses. So the key 5 questions we're going to look at, and please take some notes on this, is: to what extent do our devotees feel cared for, inspired, and reinvigorated within our project or temple? To what extent is the mood and culture of outreach, as given by Srila Prabhupada, alive and thriving within our project or temple? Do we have a culture of general performance assessment and accountability within our projects, and are they result-oriented? So people are involved in service, with either at the temple, or they take responsibility from outside, or they're doing their own program in service of the overall mission. Are devotees being held accountable, which is a very important element, because we're serving Guru and Krishna, so it's very essential for the spiritual well-being of all the devotees, that they're held accountable in one way or another, with love and with care. And do we embrace a systems thinking and a culture of continuous improvements? In other words, do we feel like we are working together, that we're developing systems and working together to achieve our overall mission? And are we thinking about how to improve those systems? And do we have a culture of applying innovation within all key result areas of the temple or project? So are we innovative and creative in our approach? And then we'll move to the strengths and weaknesses of our strategy. And we are improving on that now as we do the strategic planning. But we're going to, discuss some aspects of this. Does our team and general devotee community lack a clear understanding of our project's goals? So part of the strategic plan is also going to be communicating our plan. Do plans get made? If so, are they correctly motivated? Are they linked back to the temple's strategic plan? So we can say if they are in line with our mission and vision, then they would be correctly motivated. We're not going to look too deeply into the motivations as long as they're in line with our mission of service to Srila Prabhupada. Are decisions followed up? Do things actually get done? Do we spend too much time putting out fires? Is there significant growth in our outreach? Do we have basic functional elements to function normally? So then we'll look at structure and our strengths and weaknesses there. Does our current structure or proposed structure support our project strategy? To what extent does each of our departments or layers of management add value to our project? Is everything crucial and important? Do individual roles support the achievement of our project's goals? Do we need to change any of the existing roles or create new roles to help more effectively meet our goals? Are reporting relationships clearly defined? Who do I go when I need to know how I'm doing? Who do I report to? Does each devotee who holds a position have the authority he or she needs to execute his or her service effectively? Are devotees empowered to do their service? Do they have the help they need within the structure of the temple management and governance? How well does the project departments cooperate? Are they interdependent? What types of coordination does a project need to help it more effectively achieve its goals? So we're a pioneering organization, so our structure isn't so rigid or developed, and that's okay, because for a pioneering organization the structure is going to be more fluid. But still, how are we doing? What are our strengths currently in our structure, and what can we improve? What are our weaknesses? So then we'll take a look at the strengths and weaknesses of our leadership. Are there enough good leaders and managers? Does the top management think I have to do it myself if I want it done right? Are people empowered to do and to take responsibility for different service areas? Are managers trained? What skills do they still need to develop to do their service more efficiently? Are we providing that training and skills? Are we providing opportunities? Are we allowing the time and the energy to do so? Do devotees feel insecure about their place in our project? Alternatively, are some devotees so deeply rooted in their positions that they no longer feel the pressure to perform well? Are they aware of what others in our project are doing? Do the devotees working with us feel empowered to do our service, or do they feel restricted and micromanaged? So empowering, one definition of leadership is just to create more leaders, to empower people. How do we recruit new managers? And where is the young blood in our project? So these are important to look at what our current strengths are and what our weaknesses are, how to improve our leadership. Now our systems are so important. How collectively the systems working together to serve the mission. So for each component of management systems, do we have a system with clearly defined processes, policies, assigned people, and is it being utilized on a regular basis? So a system basically means everything is firing on all cylinders, everything is going on nicely, collectively. So for each component of operational systems, do we have a system with clearly defined processes, policies with assigned people being followed to carry out daily functions? So we can look at, our restaurant system, our Sunday Feast program, how that runs, our Krishna Code program, our Harinam programs, our fundraising programs, but our different systems, how are they doing? How are we doing? To what extent have we created management development systems? Do we have systems to train devotees not only in Krishna consciousness, but on how to perform their duties properly? So in order for systems to run, there needs to be good leadership, and there needs to be empowered individuals who are able to take responsibility. So where are we in that regard? So people and staff. The capacity and succession planning, the staff required and their general capabilities, the skills and competencies required of the staff and leadership serving the organization. So do we have enough staff people to support effective functioning of our project and delivery of the mission and vision? What areas may we be lacking? Do we recruit new people in a standard manner? Are there any inconsistencies in how we recruit new people? Does everyone have the opportunity? Are we creating the opportunity for when people are recruited to go deep and reach their potential? Are the staff trained to perform their services? So the devotees are the greatest resource and often overlooked. We need to understand their value. What are their needs? Are we engaging them carefully? Are they happy in their service? Do devotees in our project feel there are enough hours in the day? Are people feeling overwhelmed? Is there more help needed? There's more recruitment needed. There's more training needed. So how are we doing? So sustainable funding. Do we have enough funding to successfully perform all of our current services? Do we have additional funding to support the strategic plan? Do we have plans to acquire the required funding? How are we doing in that department? So supporting resources. Do we have sufficient physical facilities, land, buildings, kitchen, meeting rooms, etc., to be able to function normally? Do we have sufficient computers for our staff and operations? Do we have a properly functioning telephone system to interact with the public and our donor base? Do we have sufficient vehicles and other equipment to support our project on a sustainable basis? Are these in proper working condition? So where are we now in our resources, and what more do we need to fulfill our mission and to develop in the right way? So the final one is results and performance. So is there any significant growth? Is any growth even measured? Recall how Srila Prabhupada would always want to hear about how many new devotees were joining and how many books were being distributed, and how pleased he was when they were increasing. So do we involve our different constituent groups in determining our performance? Do we have reliable feedback from the actual cross-section of members and potential members? How do we or can we rate the public perception of our organization by various criteria, starting with presence or awareness? So are we measuring our results? How are we doing in that? And how are we gauging our performance? Is there feedback from the community, from the other devotees? Do we have a scoreboard, a good scoreboard? For instance, for book distribution, now we're keeping score in that regard. Do we have a scoreboard for how many new people are coming to Krishna Cove? How many people are aspiring for initiation? So these different aspects of gauging performance and results, how are we doing there and how can we improve in that area? So if you can kindly take some notes on these different aspects and think about these things. This is a great meditation for us, because if we don't know ourselves, then we can't improve ourselves. So this is really a good way to look, to go within as an organization, and to think, where are we and how we can develop. So again, please be thinking about that this week, and bring notes to share on Thursday. And if we are able to have a lively, dynamic meeting where all these different aspects are spoken about, then I can compile those notes and add what's needed, and we can have a little bit easier couple of weeks. So thank you all again so much, and have a wonderful day and weekend. Hare Krishna.